Drove in from Norman, so didn't time it right, but we'll get there. So yeah, just started with Senator Lankford. Actually served with him on his campaign in 2014, so I'm in the same area, so I'm very familiar. I grew up a little bit in Cheyenne, Roger Mills County. That's where my family's from. I was sponsored on the Financial Services Committee by Congressman Lucas, sorry about that, and my dad actually is one of his best friends, and served as his chief of staff when he won the special election in 1994. So I've got a little bit of a history with Republicans and state politics, so with my lack of experience. But all right, so let's talk about what's going on in the Senate. So the senator's trying to get used to the pace, moves a little slower than in the House, but they're starting to get to work. On the first day of session this past year, there were more amendments passed with the Keystone Pipeline proposal than there were in the entire last session of the Senate. So they're getting moving, they're trying to get some work done, and he's trying to do his best to kind of regulate and hold some oversight over the regulatory sector of the executive branch. He was appointed subcommittee chairman of Regulatory Affairs and Oversight Committee, and he saw a glaring need for accountability with the regulatory side. He noticed when he first got there that people have trouble lodging or filing complaints with some of these huge executive agencies. So what he did was launched a bipartisan movement with Senator Heitkamp, who's the ranking Democrat on the subcommittee, to launch a portal called the Cut Red Tape Initiative. So it's a central hub for everyone to put their complaints for any executive agency, and they'll collect them all there, and then he'll pass those on to the agency heads and use those as kind of material when he is interviewing and grilling some of those executive agency heads when he drags them before his committee. So we really are looking for any real life issues that you're seeing or dealing with on a daily basis. Filing two applications that serve the same purpose, confusing definitions on different rules, anything like that. We're always looking for good examples, so please share those with us and me. The other thing that's been going on is Trade Promotion Authority, or TPA. This has been kind of, in the past, has not been a political issue, but recently has turned very political. The senator is all for free trade. He actually voted for TPA when it was in the Senate the first time, and it had one of his amendments in there, which was the Religious Freedom Amendment, which sets the parameter that all religious freedom should be considered when negotiating with some of these foreign countries. That passed with 92 votes in the Senate out of 100. So it was a huge success. TPA actually was just passed in the House. So what will happen is now the TPA is going to come back to the Senate, and it's a standalone bill. What the Senate voted on the first time was a TPA and TAA, which, try not to confuse you all too much, but it's the Trade Adjustment Assistance Program. And that's a government program started by the Department of Labor to determine if jobs were determined that these jobs were cut when negotiating a trade agreement, that the Department of Labor and the government would fund new training for those people who lost jobs. And the senator, along with the majority of the Senate, voted to strike that program because it's been proven that it's wasteful and that it doesn't work. And President Obama and some of the ranking Democrat members are insisting that TPA won't be passed without TAA. So we'll see how that goes. the House voted to pass TPA standalone, so they did not vote on TAA. So that will be an issue in the future, and that all revolves around the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is the actual agreement that Obama is negotiating with 11 other Asian countries, and Senator Lang, that probably won't get voted on until 2016. As you know, the TPA is what sets the parameters for the negotiation process, so Congress determines what the president can and can't negotiate on. Then the president has constitutional authority to go to those countries, negotiate the trade agreement, and then that final trade agreement comes before Congress, and Congress can either approve the whole thing or strike it and send it back to the drawing board. So Senator Lankford wants everyone to know that he is going to vote. He doesn't know how he'll vote on TPP yet, of course, but he wants everyone to know that he will vote he won't vote for any trade agreement that doesn't have Oklahomans' best interests and American workers' best interests. So hope I didn't thoroughly confuse anyone. But if you have any specific questions for me, I have cards up here and contact information. If I can't answer it, I know people who can. So, and with that, that's pretty much it. Look forward to getting to know everybody here. So, thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
One thing.
Go ahead.
Speaker Hickman and I had a bill this year that required a certain amount of rainfall, much like they did with transportation dollars over the last 30 years. Southeast Oklahoma took most of it. So we're going to have to get that fixed as well. All right. No questions?
Thank you. Dump it.